Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Recovery Diary. This is day 19, and we're nearing the 20-day Recovery Diary journal goal that I'd set for myself. So after this, I'll probably change the frequency of my posts a little bit, so I'll be concentrating a little bit more on quality of editing and optimization, etc. So at the very beginning of this journey, in the intro, I had given you the promise that I was going to be very real and transparent about my journey and my progress. Not just documenting victories and successes, but also being very open about things which I wasn't getting right, mistakes I was making, or downright failures. So one of the things that I use to really get into a peaceful state and a healing state is I like to watch some movies, and movies are just something which I find very relaxing to do. But the last couple of nights, the mistake I made was that I'd ended up watching them past the 12 o'clock hour mark. Now, previously, whenever I had made use of the service of a nutritionalist, she had really tried to encourage me to make sure I was sleeping before 12 o'clock and explained that our sleep differs from before 12 o'clock and after 12 o'clock. And it was always something I found very, very difficult to do, because with family life being the way it is, being very busy with ourselves, sometimes we need a downtime, and sometimes it takes you past 12 o'clock. So the last couple of nights I had watched part of a movie. It was a good bit past 12 o'clock. And today I felt quite a drop in my vitality level, as I describe it. And it was a real wake-up call and just a reminder to me that I can't afford to do that. That I must prioritise getting to sleep before 12. And so that is not just something which can be relating to someone with chronic fatigue like what I have. But it's really just a reminder that if we don't get to sleep before 12 o'clock, it does have an impact on our immune system. And no matter what place you are in your life, if you want to stay healthy or if you want to come out of illness, then it's one of the things we need to think about, is making sure our sleep is of good quality. And part of that is making sure the time of it is right. So yesterday I had spoken a little about the vlog or the podcast that this life coach Mel Robbins had used and posted, and she was speaking about ADHD from the perspective of a Harvard doctor who specializes in treating people with ADHD and other neurodiverse conditions. And yesterday I was speaking about the different effects, the different causes of lifestyle differences that we can change to make things much, much improved in our lives. Things like diet, sleep, screen usage, and lowering stress, these kinds of things. And I said that today I would come back to do part 2 and to really cover a summary of what he'd mentioned with regards to the protocols we can use to make a big difference. So I'm going to really just document those and just list them as I have them noted down here. So the first thing that he suggested was it's a elimination diet. Beg your pardon, elimination diet. So this is quite severe and it's quite difficult to do, because it involves cutting out pretty much everything which has the potential to cause us problems in our gut. Because there can be things which are sensitivities to us or intolerances which create inflammation in the gut, and that can create all sorts of effects. Sometimes it can give us leaky gut syndrome, where toxins can leak through the wall of the gut into our bloodstream, and then it has an effect on our brain and our brain health. And so elimination diet really means taking out all these potential intolerances, things like gluten, lactose, which is the sugar found in milk, lots of other kinds of things like peanuts and other kinds of nuts, and fructose, which is the sugar found in fruit, and soy, and many of these other kinds of things that we can eliminate. Gluten is another one, sometimes wheat. So the idea is that you eliminate all of these for a period of weeks, and then when you see things really improving, that you begin to introduce those food groups one by one and really keep a real tab and a real diary on the effects that you're experiencing as you're reintroducing those. So that's one idea. As I say, it's pretty tough going because it means removing a lot of things that we like gluten, which is normal bread, and dairy products and things like that. So the next idea, which is a little easier to do, is something that he said you can do for a month, and that is to increase our protein with our meals and reduce our carbohydrates. So doing that for a period of a month, we can quite often see changes, because quite often we're just not eating enough protein, and sometimes there's just too many carbohydrates in our diet. And the last thing he mentions there is exercise. So he talks about a zone 2 cardio, and this is like a half an hour to an hour cardio per day, where it might be cycling or swimming, something to get the heart rate going, and that really helps an awful lot in so many areas of our brain health and just our health in general. So these are some of the things that he'd mentioned, and I'll of course be documenting as I go forward the changes I'm going to make myself and the effects that they're having on me physically. But as I'd mentioned, I do experience quite a quick effect whenever I'm doing something not right, because I'm in a stage of chronic fatigue relapse, and so I do experience those changes quite quickly. For instance, if my sleep isn't right, I'll feel it. If I eat something that's not good for me, I almost feel it immediately. And so these are really just telling us that there's things that can really have a big impact on our health and our immune system, no matter where you're at in your life. So I hope you found this helpful. And tomorrow is the last day of this 20-day run. And we'll see you tomorrow. And catch you again then. Bye-bye.